AI adoption rarely waits for permission. Teams experiment, automate, and connect tools before governance can fully see what is happening. In this topic, we'll learn how to spot shadow AI early, map adoption patterns, and identify the risk hotspots that matter most. Previously, we looked at how AI-driven systems differ from traditional software, including probabilistic behavior, data sensitivity, and new governance needs. Now we move into adoption reality, unmanaged tools, automation hotspots, and hidden data risks. The key lesson is simple. You cannot secure or transform AI you cannot see. Shadow AI is any AI use that happens outside approved governance. It may involve a public chatbot, plugin, copilot, API, or automation that a team adopts on its own. The risk is not just the tool itself. It is the sensitive data, business decisions, and compliance obligations that may be affected without review or monitoring. Most shadow AI does not begin with bad intent. It begins with a team under pressure to draft faster, analyze data, write code, or respond to customers. Public AI tools look immediately useful, while procurement, security review, and policy guidance may move more slowly. In that gap, employees make local choices without fully understanding data exposure, retention, or reliability risks. When approved options are missing, usage naturally moves into unmanaged tools. Enterprise AI adoption is shifting from a centralized specialist activity to a distributed business capability. Legal, HR, engineering, sales, and service teams now encounter AI inside tools they already use, such as SaaS apps, browser plugins, copilots, and embedded features. That can create real gains in speed, personalization, content creation, and analysis. But it also changes the risk model. Governance can no longer focus only on sanctioned projects. It must detect and guide everyday AI use across the enterprise. To manage shadow AI, start by mapping the ecosystem, not just listing tools. Who is using AI? What prompts, datasets, and sensitive information are entering it? Which models or SaaS features process that data? Then follow the outputs into documents, code, customer replies, workflows, and decisions. Also classify the use: experimental, operational, customer-facing, regulated, or decision-supporting. This turns hidden activity into traceable risk, so governance can focus where impact is highest. A useful taxonomy helps you see where AI use needs extra control. Data risk appears when confidential, personal, regulated, or customer information is pasted into tools. Decision risk appears when AI influences hiring, legal, financial, medical, or customer outcomes. Operational risk appears when errors flow into critical processes. Trust risk appears when hallucinated, biased, or non-compliant content reaches stakeholders. The hotspot is usually the intersection: sensitive inputs, high-impact outputs, and weak oversight. Discovery works best when it starts with the business, not only the network. Interview leaders, process owners, and power users to learn where AI is already helping real work happen. Then compare those stories with signals from SaaS inventories, browser data, API keys, expenses, and procurement. Security telemetry, such as DLP, CASB, endpoint, and network logs, can help validate exposure. Focus first on high-risk functions where sensitive data and regulated decisions are most likely involved. An enterprise AI inventory is the control point for knowing what AI exists, who owns it, and how risky it is. It needs to go beyond approved systems. Capture shadow tools, pilots, embedded features, automation, third-party platforms, and internal models. For each entry, record the owner, vendor, data classification, use case, approval status, risk tier, monitoring coverage, and review date. Keep it current. Governance fails when the inventory becomes a static snapshot instead of an operating asset. A practical AI inventory should classify tools by what they do and what could go wrong. Meeting summaries or draft emails may be lower risk. Legal analysis, sales recommendations, or analytics using sensitive data usually need more review. Customer chatbots, hiring support, or autonomous actions raise the stakes because outputs affect people directly. The risk tier should then drive governance, with controls, approvals, monitoring, and escalation increasing as data sensitivity, business criticality, and user impact increase. Sensitive data exposure often starts innocently. A prompt, an uploaded contract, pasted source code, a customer transcript, or a connected SaaS app. First, identify what data users are sending into AI tools. Then review whether the vendor retains it, trains on it, processes it in other regions, or shares it with third parties. For higher risk data, use classification labels, DLP, access controls, masking, redaction, and approved secure AI environments. AI becomes riskier when its output moves from suggestion to action. The key question is not only, did the model produce something useful? It is, where will this output be used and who is accountable for it? Critical workflows need named owners, someone to review, someone to approve, and someone to act. If the output is wrong, biased, or non-compliant, there must be a clear escalation path. The AI said so is never a governance answer. A strong intake workflow turns scattered AI experimentation into governed innovation. It gives teams a simple place to register ideas or existing use. They capture the business purpose, data involved, tool or vendor, users, impact, and criticality. Then the use case is classified by risk. Low-risk work can move quickly with standard controls. Higher-risk work triggers security, privacy, legal, architecture, compliance, or model risk review before approval and ongoing monitoring. Imagine a multinational enterprise where AI is appearing everywhere. Legal drafts clauses, HR screens candidates, engineering uses copilots, and sales and service generate customer content. Your job is not to ban everything. It is to discover usage, identify sensitive data, classify the risk hotspots, and recommend fast controls, approve tools, human review, data limits, and escalation for high-risk use. Shadow AI is not just a tooling issue. It is a visibility and governance gap. The path forward is to discover unmanaged use, inventory it, classify risk, and route higher risk activity through the right controls. From there, organizations can move beyond reaction and begin structured enterprise AI transformation.